Well, all right, guys. So NVDA today it's down 10%, exactly 10%, wipes out what 200 billion or so of market capitalization. So here's what I'm watching basically for the rest of the April and going into earnings report. And we did talk about this name literally yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday. I was talking about this name, but this drop was little early, 1 day early maybe, because yes, I was expecting a drop and I was talking about this drop for quite some time, and I was talking about this distribution, and I'll show you again. If you are new, if you just came in, well, it did burn a lot of premium, right, for this 2 months. And this option expiration right here today, which was pretty big option expiration, April 19th, where a lot of premium got burned. I was expecting NVDA to stay above its 50-day moving average and then come Monday, Tuesday flush down. Another thing is a lot of people were going crazy about the headlines overnight, war and all that stuff, like headlines, right? One tip, if you are not trading futures, if you are not a futures trader, I mean, futures trade 23 hours a day, right? 1 hour break, 5 days a week, 23 hours. There's no need for you. I mean, it's just personal, right? I have watched it. I would stress out a lot going into the bed when I had a position, and I would open up the S&P 500, just like today, right? Overnight, you take a look at the SPY, and it just flushes down pretty big overnight. And there's a lot of YouTubers are panicking and just going crazy, and then come morning market hour, actual market hour, and it just bounces right back up. So there's no need, if you're not trading futures, there's no need to stress going into the bed. That's just my something. Just ignore. Okay, don't watch any news before you go to the bed. Okay, just wake up 30 minutes, an hour early in the morning, catch up what happened, and then just adjust your trades accordingly and just plan accordingly. This is just personal tip. Again, it's not a financial advice, but it's just something you should not be stressing about overnight price action in futures market. Okay, so we did gap up, SPY came down, but if you take a look at the heat map, look at it. So it's semiconductors and tech which pulled back, okay? And I tweeted, I think, as well, that it's mega cap what is it? Magnificent 7, M7 was still high, and it was still holding up, and they were not oversold. Everything else, yes, in S&P 500, if you take a look at the percent of stocks that are stocks that pulled back the most during this Q1, you would see that these stocks, they can pull back as much as they want, but they won't be impacting S&P 500 as much as these tech sectors do, because they have a lot of a big say. Healthcare, second biggest, but information technology, 29% of S&P 500. So back to NVIDIA. So if you're new, yes, I was talking about this name. I was comparing this NVIDIA. Just take a look at this chart, right? We do make this huge move year to date. And again, year to date, NVIDIA is doing great. But right here, right now, it is down, from its top 20%. Okay, 20% decline for somebody. It could be decent pullback, but I'm expecting more. And I'm comparing it to Tesla, and I have talked about this one on my other videos about NVIDIA, to its 2020 and 2021 run-up. It makes a huge move, chops around, right? It just trades in the range where a lot of people right here were speculating that it's going to go crazy, $2,000 price action. I mean, before split, this was $1,200 or something level, and a lot of people it's gonna go to $1,500, it's gonna go to $2,000. Tesla is $4 trillion stock, it's $1 trillion is nothing. that was the case, and that was exactly the same thing for Nvidia. And it did like stay in this range for about 2 months. Okay, and I was expecting this. Let me bring up moving averages. I was expecting Nvidia to do exactly the same, maybe 1 day ahead of its schedule, but it's same algorithm, it's same price action. Look at it, stays above its 50-day moving average going into this big option expiration date in February 19th, 2021. And then afterwards, you can see the price action, right? And then come into their earnings, stock is above its 50-day moving average, and stock almost relatively, it's not like too significantly below its previous earnings report. So this drawdown for Tesla was, let's measure it, from that high, 37%. So can NVDA do exactly the same thing? Well, that's what I'm watching. I'm not saying that you should trade it. This is not a financial advice. This is just something, if you learn something from it, that if even one person learns from something from any of my videos, I mean, that's already a success that you can implement in the future and capitalize possibly in the future by picking up a tip here and there. So this drop right here is 20%. Well, how much would it be if Nvidia drops from its, let's say 958? If we do measure, let's say it's 200-day moving average, which is, yeah, I know it's a significant drop. Maybe 200-day moving average would be, let's say it will be around $600 level come, let's say May, like half of the May, because they're not reporting earnings until May, but there are a lot of semiconductors will be reporting earnings and it will be volatile. TSM reported and it did react to it. That would be 37% drop as well. If it drops to like $600 to mid May, exactly the same pattern. Again, this is just my opinion. This is just my observation of looking at comparing it. This is the closest stock that we can compare that went into $1 trillion market capitalization very fast, and then how it traded on top. So, but again, this is just my opinion. And next week, well, this is the support area, 845, and I'm watching this gap, earnings gap, where it created from 680 all the way to 750, 745. I'm expecting this gap to possibly get filled. And again, it can definitely fake out a lot of people. It can definitely sit above 750 and chop and just kill premium and then come down. But I am expecting Nvidia certainly before its earnings come basically move lower. Okay, if it does come down just like Tesla did back in 2021, 37%, 35%, I would be absolutely not surprised at all. This is my this is my opinion. Again, this is what I'm watching for the rest of April, going into their earnings for the rest of the May. Again, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.